Welcome to the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise DBE Certification Workshop, Part 3. My name is Danella Reynolds, and I work for Caltrans Office of Civil Rights in the Outreach Unit. If you have any questions during our presentation, please type them in the chat box and we will answer your questions during our presentation. Helpful links will also be shared via the chat box. If you have any additional questions, please send your questions to our email, smallbusinessadvocate@dot.ca.gov. We are going to have a guest speaker today, Christina Kunkel with the NorCal Procurement Technical Assistance Center. Your host for today's presentation is Amanda Himes with Caltrans Office of Civil Rights. Amanda will be guiding you in this presentation, and after each section, we will break for a question and answer portion. Welcome, Amanda.
So good morning, everyone. We apologize for a little bit of a delay due to technical issues. So we appreciate you hanging around for a few minutes longer in the waiting room. So today, we're going to talk about the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Certification, also known as DBE. At Caltrans here, we love to use acronyms. So to become certified, you must first apply and be approved for the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Certification. The DBE certification is a federal certification, which means that it applies to contracts which have any amount of federal funding. So this certification is here to really help you grow your business. And we'll get into a couple more topics on this in a couple slides. So a DBE is a for-profit small business that is at least 51% owned by one or more individuals who are both socially and economically disadvantaged. So there's an example here on the screen. If you have a corporation, and we'll go into that in the application, if you have like an LLC or an S Corp, it'll have information on the application. But basically each person who's going to be a majority member has to be socially and economically disadvantaged. So this program creates a level playing field on which DBEs can compete for federally assisted contracts. It ensures the department's DBE program is narrowly tailored in accordance with applicable law. The law that's going to apply to this program is 49 CFR, the Code of Federal Regulations 26. So if you did want to learn more about the technical details of the program, you could look that information up as well. Continuing on with the objectives. So the DBE program promotes the use of DBEs in all types of federally assisted contracts and procurements conducted by recipients, and it assists in the development of firms that can compete successfully in the market outside the DBE program. This certification is recognized by subrecipient local agencies in California. Right now, that's about 600 agencies, so you have quite a bit of exposure once you have this certification. Again, we can't emphasize this enough. It expands opportunities to participate on federally funded contracts. And then you become accessible to prime contractors. They need to fulfill the DBE participation goal on the contracts that they're a prime for. So they can search through the database, which we'll go into in a minute, and find you and offer you work based on that participation goal. So you get listed in the official CUCP database, and I will explain that acronym shortly. But basically it's our official DBE database, which is available for primes to search for subcontractors. It's available to the public and then all local agencies. And then this certification also increases opportunities for you to network at events. We have quite a few different outreach events that we do with Caltrans. Some of the ones that might apply more for the certification would be our procurement fairs and our pre-bid meetings for construction contracts. Okay. So there is kind of a oversight by multiple agencies, so that's listed here. So the U.S. Department of Transportation, they are, we'll say the parent program basically, along with the Federal Highway Administration and the Federal Transit Administration. So they oversee the DBE program at the highest level. And then the U.S. Department of Transportation, so their primary roles and responsibilities is developing the rules and the regulations for the DBE program. They provide guidance and oversight for us and then for the program. And then they review appeals on certification decisions. So we're going to talk about that later on in the presentation. But if you did have an appeal that you wanted to apply, we would not handle that. It would go to the US DOT. So then the Federal Highway Administration and the Federal Transit Authority, their primary roles and responsibilities, again, direct oversight of Caltrans, so over the state DOT. And since they are federal, that applies to other state DOTs. They would be oversight for them. And then they also offer technical assistance and support. And then they monitor and enforce the DBE program requirements on those federally assisted contracts. So Caltrans, our primary roles and responsibility is to certify eligible DBE firms. We are the main certifying agency in California, so we can certify statewide. However, we will talk about contacting your local certification agency as well in the next couple slides. So what else does Caltrans do? We calculate the overall DBE participation goal. We establish contract-specific DBE goals when it's applicable on a contract. And then we also monitor and enforce the DBE program requirements, again, on US DOT assisted contracts. So a little bit of overlap between agencies sometimes, but generally we all work together to make sure that this program is efficient and runs smoothly. So we gave you this acronym a few slides ago, the CUCP. It's the California Unified Certification Program. So what this is the collective agencies throughout California that use the DBE program. So right now there are 8 certifying agencies throughout the state of California. Each state Department of Transportation, so again, we were talking about the different states and how they have federal oversight. So each state is required to have the CUCP. So our CUCP is going to be different than maybe another state's. So each state would have their own. And then the CUCP member agencies throughout California operate under the one agreement. And if you wanted to go to the website, it's listed there below. And again, we're going to send you this presentation so you'll be able to click the links throughout to make it a little bit easier to find the information that we're going over today. Just to make sure okay, we'll move forward. So these are the 8 certifying agencies throughout the state of California. So the other agencies listed here provide DBE certification in their local geographic area. It's pretty self-explanatory, you know, San Francisco and the Bay Area Rapid Transit, also known as BART, are going to be in the Bay Area, along with Santa Clara and San Mateo. They're all kind of in that same area. The city of Fresno for Central California, and then LA, there's 2 agencies there as well. So of course, Caltrans is statewide, but kind of covers throughout the state. So we're done with the first section of our presentation. Does anyone have any questions, Danella?
At this time, there's no questions. Thank you.